This is a very unpleasant way of traveling, Kate Walker.
I know, Oscar. I promise I'll let you out as soon as possible, okay? Okay, Oscar. Now we have to find Dana's old house.
Do you recall the number, Kate Walker?
According to her registration form from the Music Academy, it was number 20. The bridge is exactly the same as it was back in the 1930s. Except that it's cleaner. It looks almost new, as if it had been renovated. Impossible.
Kate Walker, are you intentionally trying to damage me?
A book about Vaughan's history during the war. Maybe it could be useful later. Looks like the residents on the bridge are pretty mad at the town council. There's number 20. Dana's old house. It's no longer an art gallery at any rate. Looks like it's been turned into another shop for tourists. Souvenirs here look more upmarket than the ones I've seen elsewhere. can't leave now. There are still things to do here. In loving memory of all those who lost their lives that terrible night. Protests in the neighborhood and a big storm coming tonight. I sure wouldn't want to be in the mayor's shoes right now. Anyway, I'd better focus back on Dana.
Guten Tag, Fräulein.
All our gifts are handmade by craftsmen in Wagen.
On holiday in the region, Fräulein?
Just passing through.
Well, welcome to my little gift shop. Frau Heigl at your service.
I must say you have a beautiful shop, Frau Heigl.
Thank you, Fräulein. All our souvenirs are made for excellence, as we like to say here, all by local craftsmen. Were you looking for something in particular?
Well, I'm actually looking for someone, not something. Someone who used to live in this house, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, there were quite a few owners before I bought the shop last autumn, so I can't really...
So her name was Dana Rose. She lived here before the war. I was hoping to find some kind of trace of her here, so I could continue my search.
I see. Well, I have heard of the Roses, but I can't say if there's anything left of them inside the house.
But don't you live here?
No, my husband and I live in the suburbs. You see, the bridge was sacked just before the war, during the pogrom against the Vagrants. Oh, truly awful events. And then the neighbourhood was bombed, just after the war during the liberation. And many of the houses were damaged, including this one. They were hastily renovated after the war, but they remain mostly derelict.
You mentioned a pogrom against this neighborhood's vagrant community. Can you tell me more?
As much as anyone who knows anything about Wagen, I guess. It happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. A few months after Austria and Ostertal were annexed by the Brown Shadow.
What happened?
Well, the Brown Shadow organised riots against Vagrants on false pretexts. It led to pogroms throughout all the annexed countries, including this house.
Were the Roses home when it all happened?
Like I said, Fraulein, I don't know, but I hope not.
Well, it doesn't look like the house was damaged from what I can see. Your shop is charming, and so is the rest of the district.
Thank you. That's because after the initial renovation, the council financed major rehabilitation work on the facades. But if the truth be told, they left the proprietors to foot the bill for our interiors. That's why my husband and I had to spend all our savings so that the shop interior shows the same high standard that we demand of our suppliers.
That's a shame.
Yes, and if the council persists in refusing to help fund the renovation works, there won't be any residents left on the bridge, let alone independent quality stores like mine. There'll be nothing left but bland franchise stores, like the one further along the bridge or on the musical square.
So between the pogrom, the bombing, and the whole house being renovated, there's little chance of me finding any trace of the roses.
It's not quite like that. To be honest, we didn't have the funds to renovate the rest of the house, so we used the upper floors for storing.
Really?
And now that you mention it, I do recall coming across old photographs from before the war, here and there in the house. The successive owners didn't want to throw them out, and I suppose they must have left them there.
Would you mind if I went upstairs to take a look? Unless you would kindly bring the photos down yourself.
Well, I can hardly leave the shop unattended while I go... I don't even know you, Fräulein.
I see. In that case, would you mind if I had a look upstairs myself?
Don't take it personally, Fräulein, but I don't know you enough to trust you. I'm very sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fräulein, I have a customer.
I conjecture that you were inefficient in trying to persuade the shopkeeper, Kate Walker. How are you going to access the upper floors now?
I don't know, Oscar. By getting creative, I guess.
I conclude I can trust you on that score, Kate Walker?
Made in Vaughan.
Sorry, but you'll have to wait your turn, Fräulein.
More gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think. It's right in Frau Heigel's line of vision, too. I'm gonna have to draw her away if I want to sneak through that service door to the upper floors. If I could manage to draw Frau Heigel this way, I'd be able to get through the service door and to the staircase without her noticing. But how? Made in Vaughan. Better try something else.
I'm afraid you are mistaken, Kate Walker.
That doesn't work. No. More gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think. Frau Heigel won't let me enter the service entrance. What should I do?
Remember Nick Canton, Kate Walker. What better than a diversion?
Excuse me, I must just serve the gentleman.
All our gifts are handmade by craftsmen in Wagen. If I could manage to draw Frau Heigl this way, I'd be able to get through the service door and to the staircase without her noticing. But how? A book about Wagen's history during the war. Maybe it could be useful later. A book about Wagen's history during the war. Maybe it could be useful later. It's no longer an art gallery at any rate. Looks like it's been turned into another. Souvenirs here look more upmarket than the ones I've seen elsewhere. I need to find something to distract Frau Heigl.
You can use the vending machine near the souvenir shop, the one near the tramway stairway.
One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Wagen. One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Wagen. Whoa! That's one shrill version of the Hymn of Wagen.
What's that awful noise? Excuse me, sir. Oh, there it is. How awful. That certainly doesn't belong in my shop. We don't sell such cheap and tacky items.
Great. I don't think Frau Heigel's noticed a thing.
Why don't you try to locate Diana Rose's room, Kate Walker? Then you can look for more clues about her.
Good idea. Let's just hope Frau Heigel won't come up. More stock for the shop. It's dark in here. Hardly surprising with those windows boarded up. This is where Frau Heigel must take her breaks. In remembrance of the eternal bond between the Roses and the Zimmers. Signed, Adam Z. This photo shows the house partially destroyed. Must have been taken after the bombing that preceded the liberation of Wagen. Nothing of interest in here. A double bed, plenty of space. Must have been Dana's parents' bedroom. So where's Dana's room then? The number of rooms don't add up. Just what I needed. A family portrait. That must be Dana with her parents. Huh. The bedroom in the background of the portrait must be located in the attic. According to the light and the clock behind Dana, her room must face north. It's been bricked up, most likely during the post-war renovation works Frau Heigl spoke of. That's it, Oscar. I think I know where Dana's room is.
Enlighten me, Kate Walker.
Well, one of the photos shows a bedroom that's not on the second floor, right? And we know that the staircase was bricked up during the renovation and led to another floor. So that's got to be where we'll find Dana's missing bedroom.
It seems plausible, indeed.
It does. And if we're lucky, the room might be pretty much like Dana left it all those years ago, and potentially with clues to put us back on our track. I've just got to find a way to get to that third floor bedroom.
Seeing as you failed to create a positive bond with Frau Heigl, the next rational step would be to take a look outside the building, Kate Walker.
You're right, Oscar. Let's go and see. It's been bricked up, most likely during the post-war renovation works Frau Heigl spoke of. It's dark in here. Hardly surprising with those windows boarded up.
I'm sorry I couldn't help you, Fraulein.
Oscar, I need your opinion on this.
Ah, that's better.
Looks like that fire escape staircase serves every floor of the house.
That is correct, Kate Walker. Perhaps you should find a way to use it.
Better try something else. So what do you think, Oscar?
I think I would have liked a body with longer front legs.
I was talking about the window up there. Must be Dana's room, right?
Oh, of course. There is a high probability that you are not wrong, Kate Walker.
Looks like the staircase serves every floor, including Dana's.
I conjecture that you are probably right, Kate Walker.
The second floor windows will be of no use to reach the staircase. Well, we can't get to the staircase from the first floor windows.
Indeed, Kate Walker, all the windows you could have used are obstructed.
The ladder to the first floor is up. It's too high for me to pull down. Looks like there's a mechanism up there to lower the ladder. That drain pipe leads to a ledge that leads to the staircase.
According to my calculations, the drain pipe will not hold you, Kate Walker, and even if you were lighter, the ledge is too narrow for you to stand on.
Hey, are you trying to tell me something, Oscar?
Yes, you are too heavy and too wide, Kate Walker, for the ledge.
Gee, thanks, Oscar. So basically, it's not going to be easy to use the staircase to get to Dana's room.
There is no other way. Access is denied from inside the first and second floors, and the third floor stairwell is bricked up. The fire escape staircase is the only possibility, Kate Walker. But you cannot climb up the drain pipe because of your weight and size.
I heard you the first time, thanks.
You are welcome, Kate Walker. So, the only way up is by the fire escape staircase, and that means lowering the ladder from the first floor.
Well, in that case, there's only one solution. As you're so light and slim, Oscar, you'll have to climb up the drain pipe and walk across the ledge for me. Then you just need to activate the mechanism to lower the steps so that heavy me can take the staircase route.
I was not made to climb up drain pipes, Kate Walker. I am a precision-made automaton.
Come on, Oscar. You saved the day more than once at Baranor. It must be second nature by now.
But how can I lower myself to scurrying like a rat?
Because you're a fine fellow and my faithful friend?
Kate Walker, help! I believe I am stuck here.
Stay calm, Oscar. I'm coming.
Climbing like a common squirrel. This is a disgrace.
Everything Everybody okay up there?
Yes, Kate Walker. I just need to... Ah!
Hang on tight, Oscar!
Oh, I am, Kate Walker. Believe me, I am.
You gotta jump now, Oscar! Hurry! Well done, Oscar. Glad that you're safe and sound.
I guess that's one way of putting it, Kate Walker.
I'm also glad you haven't lost your positive attitude.
Phew. That useless body. Now I must find another way. And climbing up all over again.
Be careful there, Oscar.
Oh dear, that can't be good. Oh dear. Now, Miss Pigeon. Madam Pigeon then, I beg your pardon. Now, Madam Pigeon, would you be so kind as to make way? I guess I'm going to need help here. Kate Walker! I'm going to need you again!
How am I supposed to get rid of that pigeon?
Better try something else. Better try something else.
I can't throw it at the pigeon, but maybe I can use it some other way.
Kate Walker!
Sorry, Oscar.
Made our point, I guess. Now, maybe this body will be useful in the end.
Locked, of course.
Kate Walker, if I were meant to be used as a cannonball, I would have been given a fuse. This is highly irregular.
Tuck your head in, Oscar. 1,
If Hans Vorarlberg could see me now,
2,
how...
3.
Undignified! Oh my. Oh my. Really? Is this any way to treat an intelligent automaton? Really, if Mr. Vorarlberg could see me now...
He would say, "You've saved the day again, Oscar. You've exceeded all expectations by far." Okay, let's try and find out what became of Dana after she left the refuge. A part's missing. It's from the Music Academy. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. It's blocking it. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. the wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. Nope, won't work. I guess I should use some of the clues I collected. But I get the feeling there's more to find in the room. Thing's stuck. This was written not long after her time at the refuge. A letter from Leon. So he did write back to Dana after the expedition left Kantar, the capital of Baltayar. The High Plateau of Baltayar, October 25th, 1937. My darling Edelweiss.
I hate myself for not sending you news more often, and for not being able to receive news of you. I find myself now where probably no other modern-day human has ever ventured before. I regret to inform you that I won't be able to go back to Europe with my fellow survivors. Something bad happened during the expedition. I, no doubt, am partly to blame. Nevertheless, I would like you to know my version of the events. After hard days of hiking, we set up our base camp on the threshold of a high valley where rhododendrons grew. All the witnesses seemed to concur. This was where the Gorun, the famous man of the mountains, was most frequently sighted. For many long weeks, we explored without success every valley and mountain surrounding the camp. Autumn was approaching, the rivers started to freeze at the edges, and the prospect of having to head back with nothing for our toil was becoming more and more apparent. The joyful banter of the first weeks was no more. The men were becoming moody and tense. Especially our chief, Reinhard Berger. Up we get, Leon. Another day on a wild goose chase. I'd better get kitted up before going out. Horst has already left. The scolding that Berger gave them yesterday about their lack of results in tracking down the Gorons really got to him. Goethe's Faust, one of Junter's posh friends, Murnau, if I remember rightly, turned it into a film about 10 years ago. I think the poor chap's dead now, though. Sauer's thesis. From what I understand, he accepted to work for the Brown Shadow because they were the only ones who would finance his research. What a waste. These biscuits don't compare with old Gustav's cooking, but at least they fill you up. Must remember to fill it up before I leave the camp. No chance of me venturing into the mountain without that. I'm so glad Junter lent it to me. I was able to take wonderful pictures behind Berger's back. Hope I can get back to sketching the valley, but with Berger putting on the pressure at the moment, I doubt it. The letters I got from Dana before leaving Kantar with the expedition. It's tough not to be able to receive or give any news since leaving civilization. Better get going before...
Do you know what time it is?
Time to be heading out?
Enough! You couldn't care less whether we find the Gorons or not, could you? Well, mark my words, Copperteeth. You'd better change your bloody attitude.
The day's only just bloody breaking.
I couldn't give a damn. Everyone has already started except you. So you just get your butt upstream and help Sauer carry out his research. The idiot is capable of getting himself lost again.
All right. I'm not your enemy, you know.
I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation, Leon. If we don't find a specimen of the Goron, the Brown Shadow will... Look, just go find Sauer. Please. Now!
Poor animal. Berger's gone out of his mind with this search for the abominable snowman of his. No one here. Bauer and Jäger must have already taken off in search of the Gorun. Hager and Bauer have been a bit heavy-handed with the alcohol these past few evenings. Morale of the troops is at an all-time low. With this, I'll be able to venture out for as long as it takes to find Sauer. Not what you'd call cute, this Gorun. Just as well they haven't found it yet. Can't have been easy for Bauer to leave his daughter just after she was born. Bauer's daughter. I sometimes forget I'm not the only one who left behind someone dear back across the mountains. This medal must belong to Bauer. He must have left it behind when he turned in for the night.
I hope you're not thinking of going inside my tent, Kobatis.
The mountain's dangerous and we're prepared for the worst. I only hope we don't have to use it.
Look, can't you see I'm busy? Where on earth can the bloody creature be holed up? I asked you to go up the river and find Sauer. Where on earth can the bloody creature be holed up?
I should be able to catch up with Horst by following the road along the river. I think I'm just going to stay here.
Go and find Sour.
Better get going. Autumn is here. We'd better leave the mountain soon, or we won't survive. Anyone there? Looks like someone's left their gear over there. Better check it out. Whoever it belongs to must have left in a hurry to have left it behind. Stopping to read in the middle of the wilds. That's sour all over. One of us must have stayed here. For a rest, maybe? One of the scientists must have stopped for a rest here. Most probably Sour. But what made him leave in such a hurry that he left behind all his gear? I'd better have a look around to find out what happened here. What on earth is that? That mark must be what caused Sour to stop and rest for a while. I'd better head out and try to find him to clarify the situation. What in God's name is that? Sour? What in the world?
Shh! Look what I found.
Is that a
go room! Yes, it's a go room. I heard him cry as I was taking a break near the path. Hurry, we must go fetch the others.
You go. He looks injured. I'd better stay and try and reach him before the current carries him away.
Right, Leon. Okay. But don't lose him.
All right, little fella. Don't move. I'm coming to get you. Current's too strong to swim across. Better find another way. All sorts of debris has been carried by the river. But other than trying to build a raft, I don't know what use it can be. The trunk isn't very thick. Easy, Leon. Now's not the time to get a dunking. Take it easy. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to look at your wound. What can I give him to show I mean no ill? Thirsty little fella? There you go. Good boy. It's all right. Don't be afraid. You're all right, fella. Good boy. Eat up, fella. It's good, isn't it? Leg broken. I just want to look at it, all right? Look, little fella, if you let me see your wound, you can have another biscuit later, yes? It's broken, all right. Must be very painful. You're a brave boy. If I could clean the wound and brace your leg, we should be able to get you back to camp and make it better. Hold on. I'll be right back. Just be patient, little fella. I'll be right back. They're straight enough to help get the Gorun back to camp. The Gorun might become anxious if I leave now. There must be that mark. Judging by the shape, it must have been made by the Gorun, probably before it got injured. I wonder what it means. The Gorun might become anxious if I leave now. There must be something around here I can use to take care of him. They should do fine to hold the Gorun splint together. To make a splint, I'll need some straight branches and some vine to fasten them to the leg. To make a splint, I'll need some straight branches and some vine to fasten... Here we go, fella. This is going to sting us. There, wasn't so bad, was it? Now we just need to find a way to get you back across. Hey, did you do that, little fella? Well, better drawing than talking, huh? Now we just have to wait for the others. Huh? Oh, you want another biscuit? You learn quick. It was a young specimen, my darling Dana. Almost like a child. And as soon as we made eye contact, I knew this was a creature endowed with reason. When my companions joined me, I immediately sensed we did not share the same point of view. They seemed blinded by the discovery. They couldn't see the individual. It was clear the young Goran wasn't a person in their eyes, just a subject for study. In their excitement, they seemed to lose all common sense.
What is wrong with it? Fruit! Have some fruit!
You shut him up in a cage! What do you expect? He's frightened!
Shut it up, or I'm going to gag it. What's that?
must be the Gorn's mother. If we give it back, she'll probably leave.
And deprive us of an adult specimen? Are you mad? All right, Mama.
Look at the size of her burger. Wound her, and we'll never get her back alive.
Who said we need her alive? They can't all be live specimens, can they?
No! Sorry about that, Burger, but I couldn't let you shoot them. Reinhard, you alright?
But he's killed Burger.
Bauer, wait. You saw. It was an accident. He was going to kill the Gorin, sir. So I had no intention to...
Shut it, assassin!
My head. That stone looks sharp enough. If I can reach it, maybe I can cut myself free.
I'll bring him some soup. We can't let him starve to death.
Bastard doesn't deserve food.
Typical horse, eh? Always the good Samaritan.
Aren't you afraid I was going to run for it?
They intend to hand you over to the authorities in Kantar for the murder of Reinhard Berger.
Convenient for them.
Well, that's not how it's going to be. I don't agree with what you did. But you don't deserve what Bauer and Jaeger intend for you. You must pretend to be tied up. Wait for them to fall asleep. Then take your gear and get as far away from here as possible. Hear me?
Yes, but what? So there you have the full story, my darling Dana. I don't know what will become of me, where my escape will lead me over the coming weeks, or what my life of a murderer on the run will be like.
always remember that my love for you is as strong as ever, and that my greatest desire is to hold you in my arms. I love you more than anything in the world. Leon, your Highland painter.
Dana! Oh my goodness! Dana! What's wrong, Puppet? Lena, come, quick!
Dear Diary, so much has happened since I received Leon's letter a few days ago. I'm slowly recovering. Today, Papa and Mama told me that I was going to leave for a while. I'll explain what's going on, but I don't know where to begin. I need to gather my thoughts as I finish packing my suitcase. I was planning to give up all my old toys and dolls, but now I guess I'm going to need them in a few years. The medication to treat my cough. Mama is forcing me to take it again since I collapsed after getting Leon's letter. I should pack it. I need to finish packing my suitcase before we say goodbye, dear diary. That scientist I met at the refuge, Horst Zawa, he brought me the letter after his return from Baltayar. That scientist I met at the refuge, Horst Zawa, he brought me the letter after his return from Baltayar. I can't believe Leon is on the run, all alone in those mountains in the middle of winter. As I said, dear diary, I'm leaving tomorrow. Papa and Mama are sending me to a sanatorium out of town for a few months. They say it's for continuing my convalescence. In other words, to send me and my secret away from prying eyes. My parents have accepted the offer from their longtime friends, the Zimmers, to pay for my hospitalization at the sanatorium. The Zimmers said it was in the name of their long friendship with Papa and Mama. But I think they feel bad that they can afford to flee Wagen in the Brown Shadow, whereas Mama and Papa can't. The ideal summer and winter resort in the most picturesque and enchanting spot looking over the River Dombra. Well, let's hope that's true. Come on, Dana. There were enough tears already. I hope you are well, Leon, wherever you are now. Papa and Mama have locked me up in here since they discovered my condition. I'm going to miss playing the piano while I'm away, let alone going to the academy. Poor Papa and Mama. They were devastated when the doctor they called after I collapsed discovered my secret. That secret I dared not speak about to anyone, not even you, dear diary. Now I can tell you. I'm pregnant, dear diary. Leon is the father. There were a lot of tears and screams when the doctor told Papa and Mama, but they finally decided to pretend that the baby will be the foster child of a missing relative. I know everyone expects me to feel guilty, but I can't help thinking of names. If it's a boy, of course it'll be Leon, to bring his father good luck. And if it's a girl, I think I'll call her Anna. Papa looks 10 years older since he learned of my pregnancy. But what seems to have affected him the most was to ask Herr Zimmer for help. Mama says Leon is nothing but an unscrupulous adventurer who took advantage of an innocent girl, but I know it's not true. Mama says Leon is nothing but an unscrupulous adventurer who took advantage of an innocent girl, but I know it's not true. I'll put you away in there as soon as I'm done, dear diary. Better to keep you safe than risking to lose you where I'm going. Yunta inspired me, I guess. I'm almost done here. I just need to add my medicine and the brochure Herr Zimmer gave Papa and Mama. Oh, and a little souvenir of them would be nice. Well, that should be it. All I need to do now is to conclude my diary entry and hide it somewhere safe with Leon's letter. I'll put you away in there as soon as I'm done, dear diary. Better to keep you safe than risking to lose you where I'm going. Now you know everything, dear diary. It is now, I guess, the time to say goodbye for a while. All I can hope now is that Leon will survive winter in those faraway mountains, and that he will find a way to come home and clear his name. We will wait until then, me and the baby.
Me and the baby?
Do you still think there might be a family connection between you, Kate Walker?
Well, all I know is that my family on my mother's side came from Europe. Well, like a lot of New Yorkers, right? I don't know from where exactly, but... And then there's the music box my mother left me, which it turns out plays the Wagner anthem. I mean, it all seems so magical. Almost like destinies at play.
Or a coincidence, Kate Walker. The law of coincidences states that the more an individual is liable to believe in coincidences, the more coincidences happen to them.
But then there's the fact, Oscar, that everyone keeps telling me Dana and I look so much alike.
What do you plan on doing now, Kate Walker?
According to the diary, Dana left for a sanatorium outside of town. The records might tell what became of her and her baby. But before we go, there's something that's been bothering me.
What is it, Kate Walker?
The pogrom that Frau Heigl told us about, the one during which the house and the neighborhood were ransacked, happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. Dana said that she was leaving for the sanatorium for a few months at the end of 1937.
Indeed, Kate Walker. So it is very likely she was safe and sound over there when the pogrom occurred.
Yes, but what if she was home with her baby? I need to be sure before we leave for the sanitarium, Oscar. We need to search the neighborhood for more evidence.
All right, Kate Walker. Where you lead, I will follow, as long as you don't forget your bag.
Trust me, Oscar. You're the only friend I've got right now. I ain't losing you. The room was ransacked and pillaged. During a pogrom of the Brown Shadow, I guess. God, I hope Dana was away that day. Threats, riddled with misspellings and signed, Frank Hoss, that member of the Brown Shadow who had it in for Leon at the refuge. Looks like he never forgave them, and was after Dana during the pogrom.
Indeed, Kate Walker, but the very existence of this message could mean she wasn't home when those tragic events occurred.
That's a good clue, I guess, but I need to find more. So, according to that letter, Dana was supposed to stay at the sanatorium until December 1938. Looks like there were medical complications. We're getting close, but it's not enough to draw conclusions yet. Dana's initials.
We were on the other side of this wall earlier, Kate Walker.
It's like we've gone through a looking glass.
I do not understand, Kate Walker.
Forget it. I don't know what I'm saying.
If you say so, Kate Walker.
I'd better continue searching on the bridge.
I am also under the impression there's nothing else to find here, Kate Walker.
I'm sorry I couldn't help you, Fraulein.
Ackerman, Fisher, Yorga. I can't find Dana here. Keller, Meyer, Ortel. I'm getting close. Otto, Pfeiffer. What if? Vogt, Weiss. Dana isn't mentioned here. Can't leave now. There are still things to do here. Huh. According to that book, the pogrom occurred at the beginning of November 1938. Come on, Oscar, we need to find more clues. I need to find out if Dana escaped the pogrom.
Indeed, Kate Walker. A monument dedicated to the victims would be the ideal place to find out if Dana did or did not escape.
In loving memory of all those who lost their lives that terrible night. Ackerman, Fisher, Jorge. I can't find Dana here. Vogt, Weiss. Dana isn't mentioned here. Some of the names are covered up with dirt. How could I clean it? Anton and Lena Rose. Dana's parents. Oh God, they were killed during the pogrom.
Is Dana Rose also mentioned?
It doesn't look like it, no. But I need to be sure. I think that's it, Oscar. We know that the pogrom occurred at the beginning of November 1938. Dana's parents, Anton and Lena, were killed, that's certain. But Dana was supposed to be at the sanatorium back then.
Which seems to be confirmed by that message Herr Hoss left in the house, Kate Walker.
Exactly. So I guess we're done here, Oscar. Let's take the tram back to the guest house. We'll try to find that sanitarium first thing tomorrow.
So, there she is. The famous Kate Walker.
Sorry, what?
Dana Rose. I knew her very well, you know. Our Dana darling. Waiting for the tram, aren't you? Well, we'd be better off speaking at the guest house. I hear there's a storm coming. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Miss Walker. Colonel Blake.
Colonel Blake or Fraulein Junta?
Connecting the dots, are we? You're a very clever young woman. But you must be eager to know why I'm here in front of you, bearing the surname of one of Her Majesty's military officers. But here's our tram. Would you be so kind? So, Miss Walker, you've been rather quiet. I would have thought you'd have some questions for me. No?
You mentioned the guest house. Are you that other guest I heard about?
Indeed, Miss Walker. It's actually Frau Wagner who told me about you. When she told me that you were looking for Dana, I knew I had to talk to you. Frau Wagner told me to call the academy, which I did, and the rector then redirected me towards the Bridge of Mists. And that's how I ended up wandering up and down it, asking about a mysterious American woman with a painting.
I read that you used your prestige as an artist to spy on the Brown Shadow for the UK before and during the war. So, what is your real name then? Junta Steinhoff or Colonel Blake?
Janice Blake is my name, Miss Walker. It's not the sort of name the Brown Shadow would have trusted, I'm sure you'll agree. So I took my mother's maiden name as an alias. Both my parents were diplomats from Austria, you see.
So you were some kind of double agent?
You make it sound more romantic than it really was, miss. But yes, I guess one could say so.
I guess you have new information about Dana for me?
I might very well indeed, Miss Walker, but what if you told me first what that little investigation of yours has dug up about Dana?
I know Dana was very concerned about Leon being on the run after the death of that scientist, Herr Berger. I can't blame her. How could he survive through the winter, all alone in the mountains in a strange country?
How could he? That's exactly the right question, Miss Walker. That origin expedition in Baltayar. What a mess that was.
I discovered today that Dana became pregnant that summer of 37. Leon was the father. So her parents decided to hide her in a sanatorium outside town, which I assume saved her from the night of the Brown Shadow pogroms in Vagen.
You assume right, but her parents, on the other hand...
Yes, I heard they didn't make it.
Poor bastards, if you'll pardon my French.
So, that's basically all I know. Can you tell me what happened to Dana after she left for the sanatorium to have her baby?
I must confess, Miss Walker, that I was afraid you might overlook some of the painful information here, which is clearly the case.
What do you mean?
Look, I think it would be best if we stay in this carriage until the very end. I know it is an odd request to make, but you really must see this for yourself.
Well,
Until then, I recommend you look outside the window. I guarantee it'll be worth your while. I'm sorry, Miss Walker, but chasing you around that bridge was more exhausting than I thought.
That's okay. I can wait.
Ah, nonsense. I know how eager you are to find out about Dana. So you go first. I'll meet you at section 08. I'll come meet you there.
Can't you just tell me what we're doing here?
I know it must seem cruel, speaking in riddles and keeping up all this mystery like a bloody fortune teller, but I promise you must see for yourself.
Okay then.
And don't forget, miss, section 08. Find it, and I'll meet you there.
Oof. Cold as hell here.
You go first, miss. I'll catch up.
How the heck do I get myself into these situations? These ruins, they look like they're from the Middle Ages or something. Junta told me she would join me at section. There's something sinister about all this.
Have no fear, Kate Walker. The sun's setting, and you're all alone in an isolated and derelict place. Statistically speaking, it is highly improbable that you'll meet anybody, good or bad.
Thank you, Oscar, but please do me a favor. Stop trying to reassure me, would you?
As you wish, Kate Walker.
This place gives me the creeps. Looks like... Oh, jeez.
What is it, Kate Walker?
This place, it's a cemetery, Oscar. I think Dana's... Oh my god, she must have...
Don't jump to hasty conclusions yet, Kate Walker. You should try and find that spot, that curve.
I have to find section 08 before I leave. I need to know. Section 08 is over there. I don't have time to get lost in that maze.
Is there anything that requires my assistance?
I'm gonna need you to be my eyes, Oscar.
Will do. Just call me whenever you need directions.
A cemetery. Oh my god. Section D. Impossible to read.
So, the bag. Again.
I know, Oscar. I know.
Obviously, you do not, Kate Walker.
Section B. Impossible to get through. I'll have to find a way to go round it. Illegible. Something's missing here. It seems to have to do with the gates. A dead end. I'll have to go back. The inscription has faded away. To find my way, I can go by the signs that are still legible, or by the plan at the cemetery entrance, thanks to Oscar. Section G. Section K. Impossible to get through here. Better find another way. It's not here. I need directions. The inscription has faded away. Illegible. Section O. That's it. A dead end. I'll have to go back. Anna Rose, 1938. Gone to a better place. Oh no. What happened?
Dana's health had deteriorated at the sanatorium. Her coughing fits, the pregnancy, and all the stress about Leon being on the run out there in Baltayar. It was just too much for her to bear. The doctors had to put her to sleep before her delivery. There were complications, and when she woke up, her parents told her the terrible news. They had already buried the baby girl.
How come the Brown Shadow didn't go after Dana? They controlled Ostertal back then, right?
Oh, they would have eventually, believe me.
And afterwards?
Dana became sterile because of the complications during childbirth, so she remained at the sanatorium a few months more. She was devastated, poor darling.
That's how she survived the pogroms.
Yes, but that didn't mean she was safe.
So what happened afterwards?
Dana lost everything. Her parents, her baby, Leon. I think she would have just given up if I hadn't been there that day. But I had to go to London. Back then, I used to get invited every year or so to all kinds of artistic events. I could then make out my report to the British Secret Service without arousing the Brown Shadow's suspicion. So I took Dana with me to save her from them. Dana stayed in London for about 6 years. I found her a flat and a position with my real employer, the Foreign Office. She had no family, no friends, and in a way she had no life. She spent every minute she had in the office fighting in her own way against those who took everything from her. She went from one promotion to another, and soon she was among those in charge of coordinating all the resistance fighter groups pertaining to the different occupied countries of Europe.
All right, Dana. Focus. The Admiralty needs us to spot the enemy units on the map according to the reports they provided. If I follow the instructions on the reports correctly, I should be able to place all the units mentioned. According to the reports, most of the units are found in the sea areas, along the French coast and some in Belgium. In all, the reports speak of 14 units. That's 6 submarines, 4 tanks, and 4 anti-aircraft defenses. All we need to do is to place them correctly according to the information contained in the documents. Check the reports. I think I've made mistakes on the map. In all, the reports speak of 14 units. That's 6 submarines, 4 tanks, and 4 anti-aircraft defenses. I should be careful. All terrestrial units can only be on the French northwestern coast. In all, the reports speak of 14 units. That's 6 submarines, 4 tanks, and 4 anti-aircraft defenses. I should be careful. All terrestrial units can only be on the French northwestern coast. I should check the reports. I think I've made mistakes on the map. In all, the reports speak of 14 units. That's 6 submarines, 4 tanks, and 4 anti-aircraft defenses. I should be careful. That's it, I guess. Yunta!
Dana, darling, you can use my real name here, you know.
Sorry, but I just can't get used to it. For me, you'll always be Ginger Yunta.
Charming. I'm sure I have Lenny to thank for that, hmm? You were always too soft on that little brat.
Maybe. I guess. Anyway, what are you doing here? So glad to see you.
Only doing my duty, Dana, darling. A gallery invited me for a conference, so I jumped at the occasion to report back to our superiors. But it might be the last time for a while, I'm afraid. It's getting very hard to leave the occupied territories, even for a famous so-called pro-brown shadow artist like me. Anyway, how have you been since my last visit?
Well, with Leon being missing and probably lying dead somewhere in Baltair for the past 7 years, and what happened to my parents, you know how I feel. But it's all beginning to feel like a dream, Yunta. A distant dream. Especially her. And I don't want it to, I don't want her, my sweet Anna, to just fade away. I'm sorry, Yunta, but could we please change the subject?
Of course, darling.
What is it?
More work for you, actually.
Oh?
Yes. The Allies need someone for an operation with the Resistance in occupied territory, and they think it should be you. But truth be told, Dana, I'm not sure that's such a good idea.
Why not? I did volunteer for field operations. They've trained me a lot for that.
I know, Dana, but this operation will happen in Ostertal, right next to Wagen, actually.
I see.
Look, you don't need to answer me this minute. And no one would blame you if you declined the mission. We all know you don't only have happy memories of Wagen. You still have time to think it over. But before you give your final answer, they need you to identify the resistance group that will execute the operation. It's all explained here. And of course it's all top secret stuff. So you must cross-reference the documents right here in this room. You'll have to use that thing over there.
But I don't know how to use it.
I'm sure that's easy for you. You have such a clever mind, my little virtuoso. I'll see you later.
Well, let's get cracking then. From what I can understand of that thing, the pressure must be high in the left tube, but low in the right one. Compressed air. I think I need to get the mixture right, paying close attention to the rarefied air. That must be for mixing the correct proportions of rarefied air in the system with the compressed air. I guess I must apply the right setting for the pressure to remove that safety device. It's stuck. I'll have to remove the safety device. I guess I must apply the right setting for the pressure to remove that safety device. Compressed air. I think I need to get the mixture right, paying close attention to the rarefied air. The main valve seems to be blocked due to a pressure issue. I should fix it. I'd better start by repairing the pneumatic telegraph. Could one imagine anything as insane as the whole wide world at war? And for the second time in barely a generation. We're snowed under. The paperwork is piling up, and problems with it. I guess winning a war takes time, and it's something we cruelly lack. The most widely used Allied single-seat fighter plane. I probably owe it my life, like all of us here. The Blitz ended a few years earlier. But now the Brown Shadow is sending us a new death machine. The V2. That's it for the pneumatic telegraph. Now I should use the machine to receive the list of resistance fighter networks. It's on the table next to the telegraph. Right. Let's see. Can't be that underground network. I hope the Resistance Fighter's network codename will be specific enough to help me identify it. The information doesn't tally with what Junta said. Doesn't fit in with what Junta said. Not this one either. I hope the Resistance Fighter's network codename will be specific enough to help me identify it. No, doesn't make sense. No, it can't be this underground network. Edelweiss? A coincidence. It must be a coincidence. The network leader's alias.
Oh, come here now, my pretty Edelweiss.
Don't call me that, you know I don't like it.
It's true, though. That's exactly what you are, my pretty Edelweiss.
Leon! He's alive. He's alive. He's alive! I need to... Oh, good grief. But how did he... Junta! Junta!
So Leon made it from Baltayar. But how?
I have no idea, miss. All I know is that he survived for almost a year in the mountains before coming back to Ostertal to set up the Edelweiss resistance group.
Which made Dana accept the mission you told her about back then, right?
Of course, she was given extra training and was dropped near Vagan the following summer to carry it out. We'd better get going. It looks like the storm is coming.
You go first. I'll meet you at the tram station in a minute.
Of course. Take all the time you need.
I can't figure out where to go.
I do the thinking, she does the walking. Fine by me.
Seems so old. This place must be centuries old. The Undertakers must have forgotten it. The Undertakers must have forgotten it. Impossible to get through here. Better find another way. I recognize some of the names here. Pretty interesting. But I should get back to what I was doing. What the heck?
What is it, Kate Walker?
The gates, they just closed. Oh, there must be a mechanism to open them somewhere.
There always is, Kate Walker.
Something's missing here. It seems to have to do with the gates. The Undertakers must have forgotten it. It seems so old. This place must be centuries old. I think I saw a tool shed not far from Anna's grave, on the lower level down the stairs. It's near sections G and K, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'll find something there to open the gates. Impossible to get through here. Better find another way. A dead end. I'll have to go back. Can you guide me, Oscar?
Reporting for duty, once again.
I need directions, Oscar!
Just leave me a second.
Seems so old. This place must be centuries old. The Undertakers must have forgotten it. Can you tell me where I am?
Let's see.
I think I saw a tool shed not far from Anna's grave, on the lower level down the stairs. It's near sections G and... Oscar?
What would she do without me?
impossible to get through here. Better find another way. The undertakers must store their tools in it. It needs a key. But it doesn't look that strong, though. A dead end. I'll have to go back. Maybe I could use this with the lock, but it's out of reach. Oscar, I'm kind of lost here.
All right.
Can you bring that pickaxe closer, Oscar?
Of course, Kate Walker.
Looks like it's compatible with a bigger mechanism. grim.
You seem disappointed, Kate Walker.
About what?
Well, correct me if I am wrong, but the fact that Dana Rose lost her baby and became sterile disproves your hypothesis that there can be a family link between you, doesn't it?
You're not wrong, Oscar, but I'm just stupidly over-optimistic. I wish I were like you, and not controlled by stupid emotions.
Nice of you to say, I guess.
Sorry, Oscar. That didn't come out so well.
Are you all right, Miss Walker? I'm very sorry to have brought you such bad news. This must have been quite a shock for you, wasn't it? Let's take the tram back to the guest house, Miss Walker.
What about that mission Dana led with Leon's resistance network?
It didn't turn out well, Miss Walker. Actually, that's the reason I left London to be here.
Oh?
Yes, just a second, Miss Walker. Where did I put it? What with this blasted storm? It's all over the papers. Here, have a look for yourself.
Storm. Excavation work at Devil's Pass has been interrupted. An unexpected storm has obliged the Council to remove the bodies trapped in the ice since the Second World War and to move them to the Silberspiegel Refuge. Those frozen bodies near the refuge. I heard about them just yesterday. Do you mean...
There has been no formal identification yet, Miss Walker.
But it's plausible that...
That Leon, at least, is among those bodies, yes.
Do you think Dana could be among the bodies?
I suppose it would be logical. It would explain why I never saw or heard of her again after the mission. Yet, according to some witnesses, Dana survived the war and indeed helped resistance fighters from Wagen until the liberation. But if those testimonies were true, then Dana vanished after the war.
What happened to Leon?
According to the testimonies I've obtained, Leon was killed on that mission. The Foreign Office tasked Dana to lead an avalanche, apparently. I am one of the few people still alive to be able to identify him, which is why I'm here. If it weren't for this bloody storm, it would have been done today.
What about the other bodies?
According to the medical examiner's office, in all, 3 bodies have been extracted from the ice. The one presumed to be Leon, and 2 others, a man and a woman not yet identified.
I see.
Try to stay positive, Miss Walker. Only a visual identification will allow us to be certain. We can go as soon as this storm's over, probably tomorrow or the day after.
Right.
Miss Walker, we've arrived. But you're not coming, are you? Well, Miss Walker, you might not be related to Dana, but you bloody well certainly remind me of her.
Instead of waiting for the storm to pass and for the official identification of the bodies, I might add, that were trapped in the ice for 6 decades, you, and by extension me, are going to climb up the mountain so you can identify them yourself.
I know, Oscar, I know. But I've just got to be sure. Because if one of those bodies turns out to be Dana,
We'll have no more trains to chase?